What's up, guys? We're back with a full slate of MLB action here on Saturday, May 17th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate, and unfortunately, with no NBA playoff games, we won't be breaking down any today, but tomorrow we will be breaking down that last Game 7 there between the Nuggets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'll give you my dog of the day today and pick out my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every single day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, went pretty well. Another solid winning day. We started things off strong with the Yankees, minus 136. That was a 6-2 win. The Yankees putting up some offense there. Rodon having a good outing, and yeah, that's a great way to start the day. Unfortunately, the Houston, Texas under 8.5 did not come through. A crazy seventh inning there from Houston sunk the ship for us, so that was unfortunate. But we bounced back strong. We had the Twins minus 110. That was a 3-0 shutout win there for the Twins. Joe Ryan was excellent in that game, and we cashed that one easily. We had the Knicks minus 2.5, our easiest win of the night. They come through with a blowout game, 6 to finish off that series, finish off the Celtics, which pretty sad stuff to see Boston go down due to an injury, but the Knicks played really well in that series, definitely deserved to win. Unfortunately, our long shot there on the dog of the day with the White Sox at plus 195 in their rivalry game against the Cubs did not work out, but we once again cash our massive lock of the day. The Phillies had to do a little bit of damage there late in the game, but eventually end up winning 8-4, putting us at a staggering 19-5 this year on lock of the day play. So pretty good stuff there, guys. Let's go ahead and jump in here right off the bat looking at our first game of the night. We've got the New York Mets going on the road to take on the New York Yankees. The Mets took the Game 1 loss there, losing 6-2. We're on the Yankees, so slam that like button if you guys enjoyed cashing that Yankees play with us. Now, the Mets are going to be hitting the ball in this one to Griffin Canning. He's 5-1 on the year, a 2.36 ERA. He's off to a fantastic start. He hasn't given up more than one earned run over any of his last 5 starts. He's actually only giving up 4 earned runs over those 5 starts. So dominant stuff. He's faced some good teams in the mix there. A great outing his last time on the mound against the Cubs. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run. It was a solo home run in a 6-2 win there for the Mets. So very, very good stuff. He's looked dominant this year. There's really no way around it. So that's a good spot for the Mets to be. Now, in terms of their bullpen this season, that has also not really been a problem. They're actually the 5th best bullpen in the majors with an ERA there just under 3. And the offense, well, it hasn't been great the last couple, 3-4 games. I mean, 2-0, 2 and 4 runs over their last few. It's been excellent this season. I mean, Pete Alonso is still batting over 300. Francisco Lindor with 9 home runs. Alonso leading the team in RBIs. They're 10th in the majors in runs scored, 9th in batting average. So this is a dangerous offense. There's no way around that. So we'll see what they can do to match up with the Yankees, who come into this one 26-18 on the year. They've won their last 2 in a row and 4 of their last 5. They're hitting the ball in this game to young Clark Schmidt. Well, not that young. I guess he's 29, so I take that back. Not young Clark Schmidt, but he's 1-1, a 4.73 ERA. He's coming off a mediocre start there at Seattle. 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs allowed. Gave up a couple home runs in that game. He's been decent over his last 3 starts, I suppose, but not somebody I look at as like a dominant force out there. He's fine. He's serviceable, but not somebody I really feel like can be counted on to necessarily shut down this Mets offense, but we'll see. I don't think Clark Schmidt is terrible or anything like that. The Yankees bullpen, while it's good, it's not as good as the Mets. It's fine, but it does leave some room for improvement. The offense is where the Yankees are looking unbeatable, guys. I mean, Aaron Judge batting .414 with 15 home runs and 41 RBIs to start the season. Like, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. Now, they've scored 6, 3, 1, 11, 12, and 7 runs over the last few games, so they're not slowing down anytime soon. They're the 2nd highest scoring team in the majors. They're 3rd best in batting average, 1st in on-base percentage, and 2nd in slugging percentage. So this is a crazy good offense. So looking at the numbers, that's why the Yankees are still favored here. They're minus 135. We've got a total of 9.5. The Mets are a 500 road team. They're 12-9-1 to the under on the road. The Yankees 13-8 at home. 11-10 to the under at home. This is a bit of a close spot, guys. If the Yankees had a better starter on the mound, sure, I could side with them. But going up against Griffin Canning, I think we have to look at the Mets here at plus 115. I think they've got a good chance to bounce back, put up some runs in this game, and have a realistic chance to end up winning this game against the Yankees. And getting a little bit of a plus number doesn't hurt at all. Next up, guys, we've got the Chicago White Sox going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs. Now, unfortunately, we did get burned there by the White Sox. They get blown out 13-3. every once in a while, you got to mix in one of those crazy underdogs and hope that they can come through, but it just didn't work out there. Now, the White Sox are going to be hitting the ball in this one to Sean Burke, who's 2-4 on the year, a 4.15 ERA. His last 3 starts have been excellent, though, giving up only 1 earned run over 4 innings against the Marlins, 1 earned run over 6 1/3 against the Royals, and no runs on 2 hits against Milwaukee back on the first. So he's been really good recently. Got to give him credit where credit is due. How will he do against the Cubs? We'll have to wait and see. I'm not exactly going to be holding my breath for a miracle. And when he comes out of the game, the White Sox bullpen is not good, guys. Bottom 8 or something like that in the majors, a 4.64 bullpen ERA. Not exactly what you're hoping for. Now, the offense has not been good either. 3, 1, 4, and 5 runs over the last few games is actually not a bad stretch for this team that's 28th in the majors in runs scored and 28th in the majors on base percentage. So not loving the White Sox. However, they're putting a very good starter on the mound, so we have to at least think about it. Now, they're taking on the Chicago Cubs, who have won 3 out of their last 4. They're 26-19 on the year, handing the ball in this game to Matthew Boyd, who's 3-2 this season, a 2.78 ERA. He has been very consistent. 4 out of his last 5 starts, he's given up exactly 2 earned runs. The Cubs are only 2-3 over those starts. He's gone up against some decent teams, though. I mean, 2 earned runs against the Mets, 2 earned runs against the Giants, 3 earned runs against the Dodgers, and 2 earned runs against the Padres. Like, that is pretty good work there against some decent offensive teams. So we'll see what he does in this one. I'm expecting him to have a pretty good time against the White Sox. The Cubs bullpen is a problem. A 4.48 bullpen ERA clearly has them in the bottom third of the majors, but they could improve. I think that's possible. The offense, once again, like, the offense is crazy, guys. Coming off a 13-run game, that has to look great. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys hitting the ball hard for the Cubs this year. They're 3rd in runs scored. They're 12th in batting average, but 4th in slugging percentage, and top 10 in on-base percentage. So this is clearly a very dangerous offensive team. So looking at the numbers, they're very lopsided once again. The White Sox are plus 225. The Cubs are minus 278. We've got a total of 10.5. The White Sox are 5-18 on the road, 15-8 to the under on the road. The Cubs are 12-8 at home, 12-7-1 to the over at home. I'm not interested in the total in this game, guys, and you're not going to love hearing this, but I just can't justify taking the Cubs here at minus 278, even with Boyd on the mound. Sean Burke has been pretty good. This is a rivalry series. I do think we're going to see the White Sox put up some sort of fight in one of these games, and I think this could be it. So give me the White Sox at plus 225 is a very small lean. It's not going to be the dog of the day again, though. We get burned once. We're going to go ahead and back off. Jumping in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of our video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description and go over there and see our top confidence picks from the entire team of experienced cappers over there. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, NBA, NHL, and UFC picks. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last 3 years in a row, and it's off to a fantastic start to the year. The last time I checked, our premium capper was 6-2 over his last 8. I think that covered all the games up through Thursday. Maybe that included Friday. I'm not 100% sure, but he's been on a very hot run over there. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the videos, as, like I was just saying, guys, I am not the premium MLB capper over there at Stump the Spread. We've got an expert over there with many more years of experience covering baseball than I have. So you need to get over there for sure, if for no other reason than to sign up for our free email newsletter. It'll get you free picks straight to your inbox every day and updates on our results. You just go over there, set up an account. It's absolutely free. All they need is your name and your email address, and you will be getting one email each day with free picks inside and all kinds of good information covering any sport you can really think of. Right now, we've been cooking up a bunch of golf stuff over there. We have a golf expert that's been killing it right now on the current golf tournaments going on. I don't even know, not a big golf guy. But regardless, it's great information straight to your inbox every single day. Also, guys, if you're a big fan of what we do here every single day, you can sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Channel members are eligible for our members-only giveaways. We'll be giving away 2 pieces of Stump the Spread merch here on May 20th. So it's coming up pretty quick, just a few more days. So if you're interested in getting in there, signing up for channel membership, we're going to be doing at least 2 giveaways every month from now on. So definitely get in there. You can win a free hoodie, you can win a free t-shirt, whichever you would prefer, and it'll be shipped straight to your doorstep. Members also get early access to all of our videos, and you get your name on screen in every single video, just like you guys have been seeing here for a minute. But now, guys, let's go ahead and jump back in. We've got a ton of games to cover today, and the next one we're going to be looking at is the Washington Nationals going on the road to take on the Baltimore Orioles. Nationals come to this game fresh off a nice 4-3 win there in game 1 of this series. They're 19-27 on the year, so they need every win they can possibly get. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Jake Irvin, who has been terrible this year, but hasn't been great. 2-1, a 4.00 ERA. Now, he's coming off a mediocre start there at Atlanta. 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs. Definitely not terrible, but not dominant, and we also saw the Nationals lose that game 4-3, but he's had some very good starts mixed in with some not so good starts, like getting shelled by the Phillies, but having a very good outing against the Mets. It's a little bit all over the place, and yeah, Jake Irvin, probably somebody that needs to be finding some more consistency. Now, something you can count on to always be consistent is that Nationals bullpen, and it's consistently terrible. A 6.52 bullpen ERA, second worst in all of the major leagues. So that's not great. The offense also not amazing. They scored 4, 2, 5, 2, and 3 runs over their last few. CJ Abrams coming back has definitely been a boost, but they're only 16th in the majors in runs scored, 23rd in on base percentage, 21st, batting .238 as a team. Just not a very good offense. So we'll see what they can get done here against the Orioles, another team that has suddenly become a terrible offense this season. They're 15-28 on the year, and it's looking real bleak. They're hitting the ball in this game to Kyle Gibson, who's 0-2, a 13.11 ERA. Now, this is only his 4th start of the year, but he's gotten obliterated by the Yankees, gave up 3 earned runs on 5 hits over 4 innings in an 11-6 loss against the Royals, and his last time out, 4 innings of work, 7 hits, 5 earned runs allowed against the Angels. So not super high right now on Kyle Gibson. I know that's going to shock everybody, but I certainly do not think he's very good. Now, the Baltimore bullpen, once they come in to back him up, is also terrible. An ERA just under 5. It's not a very good unit out there in the pen. Overall, not a great pitching staff, and the offense is what carried them last year at times. Also, they had a better pitching staff, but the offense has fallen off drastically. They're 25th in runs scored. They're 26th in batting average, batting .226 as a team. They've scored 3, 0, 6, 3, and 7 runs over their last few games. It has not been pretty. Those are actually better numbers than we've seen from them in general this season. So not too high on the Baltimore Orioles, and the odds makers actually are. We see the Nationals at plus 135, the Orioles at minus 155. We've got a total of 10 out there. Washington is only 8-15 on the road, 14-8-1 to the under on the road. Baltimore 8-12 at home, a rare team in the major leagues this season with a significantly losing record at home. They're 12-6-2 to the over at home. Guys, we have to consider the Nationals here at plus 135 as our dog of the day. That's a pretty significant underdog. I think this is a very reasonable spot for them to potentially win this game. Jake Irvin has starts where he is excellent. Kyle Gibson seems to only have starts where he is terrible. So I'm going to be siding with the Nationals here, and it's got a very real shot to end up in the pinned comment. Rolling through these games, guys, we're looking at the Tampa Bay Rays going on the road to take on the Miami Marlins. Now, the Rays actually took the 9-4 loss in Game 1 of this series. Not the best look. They're only 20-24 on the year, so not having a great time. They're hitting the ball in this one to Drew Rasmussen. Shout out to another red beard in the major leagues throwing some pitches. Now, he's 1-4 this year, a 3.38 ERA, so nothing to really write home about. He's given up 3 earned runs in each of his last 3 starts. Those are against the Brewers, Phillies, and Royals, so not terrible teams necessarily, but obviously not really putting his team in a position to win. And Tampa Bay is only 1-4 over his last 5 starts. So not somebody that I'm nuts about out there on the mound. He's going up against the Marlins, not the scariest opponent, but as we saw yesterday, not the easiest opponent either. The Tampa Bay bullpen has been good this season. It was looking elite for a while, but they're taking a slight step back. A 3.57 bullpen ERA is fine, but not dominant. And the offense has been a problem all year long, guys. They're 23rd in the majors in runs scored. They are 14th in batting average, but 25th in slugging percentage. I just don't see this as a scary offensive team. I mean, they scored 4, 8, 1, 11, and 2 runs over their last few. Very inconsistent and just not that great. It doesn't look like to me. So we'll see what they can do here against the Marlins, who come into this game only 17-26 on the year. So not a juggernaut of a team, obviously. Now, they've been a little bit better than I expected, perhaps. They're hitting the ball in this one to Sandy Alcantara. He's 2-5 on the year. An 8.10 ERA, not exactly what you're hoping for. He's given up 7, 5, 7, 3, and 6 earned runs over his last 5 starts, all of which were losses for the Marlins. So plenty of room for concern there. Not exactly somebody's having a great time. Now, the Miami bullpen, also not very good. I think 6th worst in the majors, a 4.80 bullpen ERA. The offense, coming off a game where they scored 9 runs, looks great, but they're 21st in the majors in runs scored, 21st in on base percentage. Not a particularly scary offensive unit. So looking at the numbers for this one, it's a little bit weird. The Rays are actually minus 143. The Marlins are plus 124. We've got a total of 8 in this game. Tampa Bay 8-6 on the road, 9-5 to the under on the road. Miami 10-12 at home, but 13-9 to the over at home. I'm not really super confident in a side on this one. I would maybe lean towards the Rays a little bit, but I think over 8 is the value on this game because I think we're going to see plenty of offense. Neither pitcher is really that amazing. Neither bullpen is killing it, and the Marlins bullpen is straight up bad. So I think we could see another relatively high-scoring game. And this one, an 8, is not that big of a number. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Phillies. The Pirates come into this game 15-30 on the year, fresh off that 8-4 loss there yesterday. Cashing our lock of the day once again. We had the Phillies in that one, and they come through for us. A little bit of late run magic was definitely pretty helpful, but I'm not going to say they were in control, but we were never too nervous in that game. Now, the Pirates are going to be hitting the ball in this one to Carmen Mulzinski. He's 1-3 this year, a 5.20 ERA. He's fresh off a couple very good starts, though. Not going deep into games, but I mean, his last time out, 5-2 2/3, 5 2/3, 4 hits, no runs allowed, and a 4-3 win there over Atlanta. Definitely something of a positive for a Pirates team that has not had many positives this year. So we'll see if he can keep that roll going, albeit against the Phillies, a pretty tough outfit. The bullpen for Pittsburgh, not great, but not as much of a disaster as it was looking like early on, but a 4.17 bullpen ERA leaves plenty of room there for improvement. The offense has also been pretty bad. I mean, 4, 4, 1, and 3 runs over their last few is honestly not that bad considering the fact this is the lowest scoring team in the majors. They've got the second lowest slugging percentage in the majors. Like, not an offense for you to be scared of. So we'll see what they can do here in game 2 against the Phillies, who cashed us our lock of the day yesterday, like we were saying. So slam that like button if you liked cashing another lock of the day, which is off to an insane 18-5 record. Is that right? Is that really, really what it is? Let's double check. Let's double check together. Yep, 18-5 on the lock of the day is pretty bonkers kind of stuff, guys. The Phillies are going to be hitting the ball in this one to Zach Wheeler, who's obviously been having a little bit of a bumpier season than you would have expected, but he sits with a 4-1 record, a 2.95 ERA. That's not going to be the end of the world. He's coming off a 7-inning shutout performance there against the Cleveland Guardians. 7 innings, 3 hits, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, no runs allowed, in a 3-0 win there for the Phillies. So somebody that I definitely think you can trust to go out there, have a pretty good outing. He's given up no more than 2 earned runs in all of his last 5 starts, 4 of which have been wins for the Phillies. So loving Zach Wheeler right now, not loving the Phillies bullpen. They're still pretty questionable, guys. Bottom 7 in the major. So 23rd, it's just not great. Just not great. It needs to be better if they want to have the kind of playoff success they're aiming for. Now, offensively, this team has been very good. Schwarber with 15 home runs. They're 11th in the majors in runs scored, but 4th in on-base percentage and 7th in batting average. This team is going to climb the standings. They're going to be one of the top, probably 5 highest scoring offenses in all of Major League Baseball this year. I think that is a pretty safe bet. So, looking at the numbers for this one, speaking of safe bets, we got the Pirates at plus 235, the Phillies at minus 290. We've got a total of 8.5. The Pirates 6-16 on the road. 14-6-2 to the under on the road. That's actually an MLB best to the under on the road. The Phillies 14-8 at home, 12-10 to the over at home. I don't see any way we can't take the Phillies here. I mean, this should probably be the lock of the day at minus 290 if we're really not going to take the price tag into consideration. So right now this goes at the top of the list as a potential lock of the day. I also wouldn't be mad at anybody that wanted to take the Phillies minus 1.5, something like that. Now, we did see Molzinski be decent, but now he's got to go up against the Phillies. That's going to be a different kind of situation. So definitely giving the Phillies here at minus 290 or minus 1.5. The minus 290 has a real chance to be our lock of the day. Rolling right along, we're looking at the Cleveland Guardians going on the road to take on the Cincinnati Reds. The Guardians have lost their last 2 in a row, including game 1 of this series where they lost 5-4, a very close one. Now, they're going to be hitting the ball in this game to Slade Ciccone, who's come back from that oblique issue. Now, we'll see what he looks like. It's going to be his first start of the season. This young 25-year-old has shown good stuff at times, but I don't know how much we really trust him, especially going out there in his first start of the season. So we'll see what he can do whenever he has to come out of the game. The bullpen for Cleveland has been a big concern, not nearly as good as last season, currently sporting a 4.09 bullpen ERA. That's, puts them in the bottom half of the majors. Offensively, they've scored 4, 5, 2, 5, and 0 runs over their last few. Now, Stephen Kwan's been hitting the ball well, but other than him, I mean, Manzardo's clearly cooled off a ton. He's got 10 home runs, but his batting average has plunged all the way to 222. They're 18th in the majors in runs scored, but 24th in batting average, 20th in slugging percentage. Like, just not an offense that scares me that much. So we'll see what they can get done here at the Great American Ballpark. The Reds, 22-24 on the year. They've won 2 in a row now, but not exactly killing it. They're hitting the ball in this one to Brent Suter. He comes into this game sporting a very nice 2.08 ERA, but this is clearly a bullpen start kind of situation here for the Reds. Now, that's not really a huge problem for Cincinnati, if I'm being honest. They've been a very good bullpen over the course of the year. I think they're currently 9th in the majors, a 3.50 bullpen ERA, which, while not elite, is borderline elite. It's borderline pretty darn good. So we like that for the Reds, at least some amount. Now, they come into this game offensively hitting the ball well. They've scored 5 and 7 runs respectively over their last 2 games. Elly De La Cruz up to 8 home runs, 31 RBIs. He's batting .257, which for him, not so bad. They're 9th in the majors in runs scored, but that's very misleading. There's some big outlier numbers in there. 18th in batting average, 14th in on-base percentage. That's kind of more where I think this offense belongs. So, look at the numbers for this game. The Guardians are actually significant favorites at minus 124. The Reds are plus 108. We've got a total of 10 in this game. Cleveland, 11-10 on the road, 13-6-2 to the over on the road. Cincinnati, 10-12 at home, 13-8-1 to the over at home. I'm going to be leaning a bit towards the Reds here at plus 108. I'm not sold on Ciccone having a great outing his first time on the mound this season. It seems like a big ask to me. Suter's been good, and so has that Reds bullpen. I think they can cobble together a pretty decent start here. So, yeah, I don't hate the Reds here at plus 108. It seems like a very reasonable price. Next up, we're looking at the Houston Astros going on the road to take on the Texas Rangers. The Astros come into this game 23-21 on the season. Now, they've won 3 out of their last 4. They're hitting the ball in this one. Toronto Blanco, who is 3-3 this year, a 4.04 ERA. He's coming off probably his best start of the year, though. He went 8 shutout innings, struck out 11, walked 1, gave up 2 hits, and a 6-0 win there over the Cincinnati Reds. So very, very good stuff. We are a little bit concerned, though, to see him going 8 innings deep into a game. A lot farther into a game than he's gone at any other point this season, I believe. Yeah, significantly farther. The other best start he had was 6 innings. So 2 innings longer than that. Seems like we should worry a little bit about fatigue here. We'll see what he does, though. The Astros bullpen's obviously been elite, currently leading the majors, a 2.66 bullpen ERA. The offense has been their problem this year, but it's turning around a bit. I mean, they've scored 6, 0, 4, 2, 5, and 6 runs over their last few games. Not incredible, but okay. They're 20th in the majors in runs scored, but they're 13th in batting average and 12th in on-base percentage, so maybe it's time for some positive progression for those runs scored numbers. But we'll have to wait and see. They're taking on the Rangers, who are 24-22 this year. They're coming off that loss, obviously, but they won game 1 of this series, and they've been playing much better. They're 24-22 this year. Like, that's not awful. And they're hitting the ball to a guy who's in a bounce-back spot, Tyler Mayhill. He's 4-1 this year, a 1.47 ERA. He's coming off of a pretty good start there against the Colorado Rockies. Do I count that as a bounce back? I don't really know. He just doesn't seem to get any run support, which is obviously a Rangers problem in general. He went 6 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run allowed, 5 strikeouts, and a 2-1 win there over the Colorado Rockies his last time out. So got to give him credit where credit is due. Now, that Rangers bullpen has not been great, a 3.97 bullpen ERA. Certainly a bit problematic, but not the end of the world. It's headed in a positive direction as well, so maybe they'll be getting a little bit better. The offense is what has held this team back. Josh Smith hitting the ball well, batting .305, but as a team, they're 26th in the majors in runs scored. They are 25th in the majors in batting average. Like, this is not a great offensive team. Regardless, though, they're favorites in this game, guys. The Astros are plus 118. The Rangers are minus 140. We've got a total of 8.5. Houston, 7-11 on the road. 8-2 to the over-under on the road. The Rangers, 15-8 at home, 18-5 to the under at home. That's an MLB best to the under at home. Do we want to fire up an under 8.5 in this game? I wouldn't be mad at anybody who wanted to do that, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that personally because I don't have a whole lot of faith here in Blanco. Coming off an 8-inning start, I just don't feel like he's going to have a very good time. So definitely give me a look here at the Rangers at minus 140. I just don't trust Blanco coming off of 8 innings. That just seems like too much for him. I think Mayhill's going to have another good start. The Rangers offense should be able to get a couple runs on the board, and that might be all they need. I think against Blanco in this one, he's probably not going to be as sharp. Rolling along here, guys, we're looking at these still red-hot St. Louis Cardinals. They're going up against the Kansas City Royals. Now, the Cardinals come into this game 25-20 on the year after a 10-3 win in Game 1 of this series. Very, very dominant stuff. We see Palante be pretty good out there. Also, like 2 runs allowed in 7 innings. So good stuff there for the Cardinals, who are going to be hitting the ball in this one to Miles Mikolas, who's been shockingly good his last couple times out, giving up only 1 earned run over 5 1/3 innings against the Nationals. And yeah, he's had some very good outings this year. He's 2-2, a 4.35 ERA, but I don't really think that's emblematic of the way he's throwing the ball right now. So we'll see what he can get done out there. The Cardinals bullpen continues to improve all the way down to a 3.90 bullpen ERA. That's like right around MLB average, which for that group, given how they were looking earlier this year, is a big step in the right direction. Offensively, they're still on fire. They've scored 10, 14, 1, 3, and 6 runs over their last few games. They're currently 7th in the majors in runs scored, top 3 in on-base percentage. They're 4th, I believe, in batting average. Yeah, batting .262 as a team. Like, this offense can kind of carry a team, and the pitching staff is looking much better. So we'll see what they do here against the Royals in Game 2. Kansas City, 25-21 on the year. They've lost 3 straight and 5 of 6, though. They're giving the ball to Seth Lugo, hoping he can help them out here. He did have to have his scheduled start on Saturday skipped due to right middle finger inflammation. Oh, so he is not going to be starting? He is not going to be starting. Okay, confirmed. Seth Lugo not starting this game. So apparently we don't have a confirmed starter for Kansas City in this game. So that's going to make this one a little bit tough to handicap, guys. We'll see who the Royals eventually put on the mound here. Now, if it ends up being a bullpen start for Kansas City, their bullpen's been excellent, a 3.34 bullpen ERA. Obviously very, very good. The problem for this team has been their offense has once again pulled a disappearing act. They've scored 3, 3, 1, 7, 1, and 1 runs over their last few games. That's not, generally speaking, going to get the job done. And looking at the numbers for this game, if we still see the Royals posted at minus 130, the Cardinals at plus 110, we've got a total of 8.5. The Cardinals are 9-14 on the road, 12-10-1 to the over on the road. The Royals 16-7 at home, 15-8 to the under at home. I'm not interested in the total, not finding a lot of good totals today, but I think we got to look at the Cardinals at plus 110 in this spot. The pitching situation obviously messed up there for the Royals. The Cardinals are red hot. Michaelis has been really good recently. I think we got to look at the Cardinals here at plus 110 as a potential dog of the day, or regardless, a pick that could end up in the pinned comment. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Atlanta Braves going on the road to take on the Boston Red Sox. The Braves come into this game 23-22 on the year. They've won 4 out of their last 5, including their last game here, game 1 of this series, winning 4-2. Chris Sale was very, very good in that one. Now, the Braves are going to be hitting the ball in this game to Grant Holmes, who's 2-3 this season, a 4.14 ERA. He is coming off a very good start, but it was against the Nationals, so take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. He has had a good start recently against the Dodgers. Run support can be a little bit iffy when you're pitching for the Atlanta Braves, but overall, I don't think we hate Grant Holmes, but I don't think we're in love with him either. Now, the bullpen has been decent for Atlanta this year. Not elite, but decent. In the top half of the majors, a 3.62 bullpen ERA. The offense, though, is problematic at times. I mean, Austin Riley leading the way, but they've scored 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, and 3 runs over their last few games, and that's a pretty sick run for this offense that's 19th in the majors in runs scored and 21st in slugging percentage. So not an offense that I'm super jazzed up about. Now, they're taking on a Red Sox squad that is skidding. They've lost 4 straight now, and they're hitting the ball in this game to Lucas Giolito, hoping he can pick up right where he left off in his last outing. He's 1-1 this year, a 5.51 ERA, but he was excellent against the Royals the last time he faced them. 6 2/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run allowed. Very, very good stuff. And that was a 3-1 win there for the Red Sox. So maybe he's back on track, but he's also gotten shelled by the Rangers and the Toronto Blue Jays this year. So not somebody that I have a lot of confidence in. The Red Sox bullpen this season, while it hasn't been a disaster, is not great. A 3.78 bullpen ERA leaves lots of room for improvement. This offense is supposed to be a juggernaut. They've scored 2, 5, 9, 2, and 3 runs over their last few games. Doesn't really read like a juggernaut to me. Now, they're 6th in the majors in runs scored. They're 8th in batting average, so they should be really good at the plate, but it just doesn't seem to usually work out that way for the Red Sox. So we'll see what they get done in this game. The Braves are plus 102. The Red Sox are minus 120. We've got a total of 9. Atlanta's 7-15 on the road, so a very bad road team. 11-9-2 to the under on the road. Boston 11-9 at home, so not an amazing home team. 10-8-2 to the under at home. So if you want to take under 9, maybe you could talk me into that one. It's not a total that I'm in love with. In terms of a side here, guys, I do think we'll take the Red Sox to bounce back a little bit, but not a game where I'm showing a ton of value. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Minnesota Twins. They're going on the road to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. The Twins come into this game continuing this insane winning streak that has, to be honest, guys, cashed us a lot of slips. They're 25-20 on the year, and they are riding a 12-game winning streak. It's crazy, guys. Crazy, crazy stuff. Now, they're hitting the ball in this one to Pablo Lopez. He's 3-2 this year, a 2.77 ERA. He's been part of this winning streak. He's gotten, put his team in great positions to win, I guess, at least against Baltimore. The last time out, though, he almost snapped that winning streak for him. 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs allowed against the Giants. He did strike out 6, but also walked 2. Not a transcendent performance, but we see the Twins come out on top in 10 innings, winning 7-6. So they'll definitely take that. I'm sure they're hoping for a bit of a bounce back from Pablo Lopez. The bullpen situation for the Twins continues to look very, very good. They're currently 4th in the majors, a 2.98 bullpen ERA. And the offense, well, they're not putting up huge, gaudy numbers. They just are getting some very timely hitting. They won 3-0 in game 1 of this series. They won 4-0 in their last game of their series against the Orioles. They've scored 3, 4, 8, 6, and 7 runs over their last few. We've seen a lot of guys stepping up, just kind of all over the place now. There have been dudes missing time. There are guys on the injured list right now, but it just hasn't mattered for this team. They're 17th in the majors in runs scored. They're 20th in on-base percentage. We'll see who they actually have available in this game, but things continue to look pretty nice for the Minnesota Twins. Now, they're taking on the Brewers, who are down to 21-24 on the year, not having a great time. Hitting the ball in this game to Tobias Myers, who's 1-0 this year, a 3.86 ERA. Not somebody you can count on to go deep into games. His last time out, 4 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs allowed against the Tampa Bay Rays. In a game, we saw the Brewers eventually lose 3-2. He's had pretty good stuff, I would say, his last maybe 2 outings, maybe 3 outings, counting that bullpen appearance against the Cubs, but just not somebody that I can really feel like I can trust. Not somebody that's sunk their teeth into this season so far. So we'll see what he gets going out there in this one. I don't hate Tobias Myers on the mound, but I don't love that Milwaukee bullpen. A 4.57 bullpen ERA. Not one that fills us with confidence. And the offense has been pretty horrendous recently. 0, 9, 0, 0, 4, 2, and 3 runs over their last several games. That's not very consistent. That's not going to get the job done. They're 23rd in the majors in batting average, batting .233 as a team. They're 27th in the majors in slugging percentage, slugging a .355 clip. That's pretty darn bad. So we'll see what they can get up to in this one going up against Pablo Lopez. Not the most consistent guy in the world, but also not terrible. The Twins are minus 130 to continue their winning streak. The Brewers are plus 110. We've got a total of 7.5. Minnesota 9-14 on the road, 12-9-2 to the under on the road. Milwaukee 12-7 at home, 11-7-1 to the under at home. I'm not going to take under 7.5. That's just too small of a number for these two teams. I am, however, leaning towards the Twins here at minus 130. Now, it's not going in the pin comment. I don't have enough faith here in Pablo Lopez, but I do think the Twins are the side you want to be on. I don't trust the Brewers. I don't trust their bullpen. I don't really trust Tobias Myers, so maybe we do have to give this just slight consideration to sneak into the pinned comment. Next up, guys, are the Colorado Rockies going on the road to take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, the Rockies making lots of changes, trying to shake things up and play a little bit better. Unfortunately, they're down 7-0 in the bottom of the 8th inning in Game 1 of this series, so that's not exactly panning out. They're going to be hitting the ball in this one to German Marquez, who is 1-6 this year, an 8.27 ERA. This stuff is getting kind of out of hand. Now, his last start was very good. It was against the Padres, too. He went 7 innings, gave up 3 hits, only a single earned run, and a 9-3 win there over the Padres. So very, very good stuff in his last one, but that is not the norm of what we've seen from him this season. So we'll see if he can keep it rolling, but I'm not going to be holding my breath. Now, the Rockies' bullpen, not great, but not a disaster like last year, a 4.10 bullpen ERA. Pretty playable considering how bad they were a season ago. The offense, though, is looking like the worst in the majors, guys. They're second to last in runs scored. They are third to last in batting average. They're second to last in on-base percentage. This is just not a team with anybody can hit the ball. They just can't hit the ball. It's looking embarrassingly bad. So we'll see what they can do here against the Diamondbacks, who are obviously fantastic at the plate this year and having a good start to the series, but 23-21 on the year is not where this team was aiming for. Now, they're hitting the ball in this game to Zach Gallen, who's been part of the good and part of the bad this year. He's 3-5, a 4.59 ERA. His last time out, a big hiccup, guys. 5 2/3 innings, 10 hits, 4 earned runs allowed against the Dodgers. Now, that's the Dodgers. He did have back-to-back excellent starts there against the Mets. Both of those games were wins for the Diamondbacks, so Gallen definitely capable of good stuff. Just doesn't always happen. Now, he's going up against the Rockies, so I'm expecting good stuff from him in this one. The Diamondbacks bullpen, though, bottom 4 in the majors. A 5.19 bullpen ERA is a huge problem. Now, the offense is where everything gets better here for Arizona. They're the 5th highest scoring team in the majors. They are 10th in batting average, but 5th in on-base percentage and 3rd in slugging percentage. They've scored 7 runs in their current game. They scored 8 in their last game against the Giants, 6, 2, 1, 3, and 11 runs. This is a pretty good offensive team, guys. There's really no question about that. Just the question is the pitching staff going to be good enough to take them where they want to go? So, looking at the numbers for this one, the Rockies are plus 270. The Diamondbacks are minus 335. We had a total of 9 out there. Colorado's 2-20 on the road. That's an MLB worst road mark. They are 15-7 to the under on the road. Arizona is 11-12 at home, 12-8-3 to the under at home. This is a situation where we might be getting a little bit greedy, guys. I've been shying away from taking the minus 1.5 plays. It just gets a little bit messy, but I think today we might have to actually consider taking the Diamondbacks at minus 1.5. Now, you take a minus 1.5, it's still not a great price. It's still minus 160. That's not ideal, but we're gonna put it on the list. It's got a chance to end up in there because I just don't see any way Marquez is gonna have another good start. I think the Diamondbacks are gonna put up a ton of offense. I think Gallen's gonna have a very good outing, so we may be backing the Diamondbacks here at minus 1.5. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the Seattle Mariners going on the road to take on the San Diego Padres. Now, the Mariners are currently up 5-1 in the bottom of the 9th inning, so looking like they're going to win Game 1 of this series. They're 23-19 on the year, so skidding a little bit recently. They're hitting the ball in this game to Emerson Hancock, and this young 25-year-old not having the best time out there. 1-2, a 6.91 ERA. Now, he gave up 7 earned runs on 8 hits over 5 innings against the Yankees his last time out, which snapped a good streak of some pretty good outings. I would say 4 solid outings in a row. Now, 2 of those outings were against the Royals and the Angels, or not the Royals, the Reds and the Angels, so maybe you take those with a little bit of a grain of salt, but he's been good. I want to give him credit. Just the last time out, he got shelled. We'll see what he can do out there. We'll see if the Mariners bullpen can continue to be solid. I mean, a 3.62 bullpen ERA. It's in the top half of the majors, but it's nothing to write home about. The offense for this team has gotten much better this year. Obviously, putting up 5 runs in their current game, not terrible. They're 12th in the majors in runs scored. They are 20th in batting average, but 9th in on-base percentage. They're just so much better than last year. It just looks amazing. So we'll see what they do here against the Padres, who are 27-15 on the year. They won their last 2 in a row there against the Angels, but looks like they're going to stumble here in the first game of this series. Now, they're hitting the ball to Nick Pivetta here in Game 2. He's 5-2, a 3.05 ERA. He is also in a bit of a bounce-back spot after getting knocked around by the Colorado Rockies, of all teams. 4 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs allowed. Not really what they drew up there for the Padres. So we'll see what he can do. The Padres bullpen's been good this year. A 3.19 bullpen ERA is a little bit off the pace that they set early on, but it's still not bad. The offense obviously sputtering here. Oh yeah, they lose that for game one 5-1. It just went to final. We'll see if they can turn things back around. I mean, Machado's been great. Fernando Tatis has been great. They're 13th in majors in runs scored despite being second in batting average and 7th in on-base percentage. I think this offense is due to put up some big numbers here pretty soon. Will it be in this one against Emerson Hancock? I'd say there's definitely a chance. Looking at the numbers, the Mariners are plus 143. The Padres are minus 170. We've got a total of 8. Seattle, 10-8 on the road, 12-6 to the over on the road. San Diego, 16-5 at home. They are 12-8-1 to the under at home. I'm going to be leaning towards the Padres here. Now, minus 170 kind of falls into a weird zone. It's definitely not one I like enough to be the lock of the day, and it's a little bit too expensive to be just a regular play, so probably going to end up staying away from it, but I do think the Padres are where you want to be. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Sacramento Athletics going on the road to take on the San Francisco Giants. The Athletics come into this game 500 on the year. They're currently playing right now down 7-0 in the top of the 7th inning. So not looking too hot for them in game one. Now, they're going to be hitting the ball in this one to Luis Severino, who's 1-4 this season, a 4.70 ERA. And I doubt any Sacramento Athletics or just Athletics fans in general are too pumped with what he's done this year. His last start, he got shelled by the Yankees. 4 innings, 9 hits, 8 earned runs allowed. Now, he hasn't given a home run in any of his last 5 outings, so keep an eye on that, all of you prop players out there. But it hasn't looked great. So we'll see if he can bounce back here a little bit against the Giants. Now, the Athletics bullpen's been a big problem for them this year. A 5.75 bullpen ERA is horrifying. It's third worst in the majors. What has carried this team at times this year is their offense, which has looked good. I mean, Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker, Soderson, all putting up very good numbers. They're 13th in the majors in runs scored, 6th in batting average, 5th in slugging percentage, but it's a little bit rough to try and out-hit this pitching staff a lot of the time. A lot of the time, you're kind of put behind the 8 ball. So we'll see what they can get done here against the Giants, who I'm sure are feeling great up 7-0 in the top of the 7th. San Francisco, 25-19 on the year. They could use some wins, though. It's been a little bit bleak recently. They're hitting the ball to Landon Roop, who is 2-3 this season, a 4.95 ERA. His last couple of starts, though, he's kind of getting back to where he was early in the season. Now, both of those were losses for the Giants, but he pitched pretty well. 2 earned runs. I guess he gave up 4 runs overall against the Cubs, but only 2 earned runs, giving up 3 runs overall against the Twins. I just can't get too excited about this guy. Like, he hasn't wowed me this season, and recently it's not looking too much better. So we'll see what he can do. The Giants' bullpen's obviously been excellent this year, a 2.68 bullpen ERA. Not about to be complaining about that. The offense, though, has been due for some regression pretty much all season long, and guys, it's starting to set in. They're 8th in the majors in runs scored still, but 22nd in batting average, batting .237 as a team, 17th in on-base percentage. Does that sound like a top 10 offense to you guys? It does not sound like that to me. So I'm expecting the offense to continue to tail off here a little bit. Now, they're putting up 7 runs in their current game, so maybe tailing off against the Athletics isn't going to happen. We'll see, though. The numbers for this game would indicate the odds makers don't necessarily think that's going to happen. The Athletics are plus 112. The Giants are minus 130. We've got a total of 8. Sacramento, 14-8 on the road, 10-8-4 to the under on the road. San Francisco, 13-7 at home, 11-9 to the over at home. I'm going to side here just slightly towards the Athletics. I think they could bounce back here and get the win in this game. At plus 112, it's pretty reasonable odds. I think, Severino is going to have some sort of bounce back at some point. I'm not very interested in backing Roop at any point. Is this going in the pin comment? No, and mostly because of that Athletics bullpen, but I would say it's not a terrible play. Last but not least, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Angels going on the road to take on the LA Dodgers. Now, the Angels and Dodgers are playing right now with the Angels up 4-1 in game 1 of this series, and it's the top of the 8th inning, so they've got a real chance to finish this off. Now, the Angels bullpen is horrible. We'll cover that here in a second, so maybe they won't finish it off, but they've definitely got a chance. They're going to hit the ball here in game 2 to Tyler Anderson, who's been fantastic this year. 2-1, a 2.58 ERA. Now, he's coming off not his best start. He gave up 3 runs. Only one of them was earned against Baltimore in a 7-3 loss, but he has been very, very good this season in general. He hasn't faced the Dodgers yet, so we'll see how he fares against them, but overall, we've definitely liked what we've seen this year from Tyler Anderson, putting in another very, very solid season. Now, the Angels bullpen, the worst in the majors, guys. A 6.97 bullpen ERA. Embarrassingly bad once again, often putting their offense in terrible positions, and the offense isn't been good either. Nobody off to a particularly hot start. They're 24th in the majors in runs scored. They are last in batting average, last in on-base percentage. It's just unfortunate to see another terrible season there from the Angels and Mike Trout not being in a good situation. So we'll see what they can do here, but I'm not expecting miracles as they take on the Dodgers, who are 29-15 on the year, Looking like they could definitely lose here in game one, though. They've been playing really well this season overall, though, despite all the injuries. The big news for this game is Clayton Kershaw going to be making his first start of the season back up at the big league club. We'll see what he can do. He looked fine there in the minor leagues, really, showing guys what he can do, who he is down there in the minors. So we'll see what he looks like here against the Angels. A pretty easy way to, just ease your way in. Now, once he comes out, and I'm not expecting a super deep start from him, we'll see the Dodgers bullpen, which has been fine, but not amazing, kind of around average this year, so we'll see what they can do. But the offense continues to just churn out runs, like not so much in game one, but they scored 19 runs in game three there against the Athletics. So they still got it, guys. Freddie Freeman's batting .370. Shohei Ohtani's up to 15 home runs. He's batting .310. I mean, this is a scary offense. The highest scoring offense in the majors, first in batting average, second in on-base percentage, first in slugging percentage. Crazy, crazy stuff. So, I mean, looking at the numbers, I'm not shocked to see the Angels as 2-1 underdogs. The Dodgers are minus 235. We've got a total of 9 out there. The Angels are 8-15 on the road, 13-10 to the over on the road. The Dodgers 16-4 at home, 13-7 to the over at home. You could take over 9 in this game. I think we're going to see plenty of offense. The Angels could probably get a run off of Kershaw. The Dodgers getting a ton of runs off Tyler Anderson, though, seems a little bit sketch, and that's why this isn't getting any consideration for, lock of the day or any real consideration to end up in the pinned comment. Well, guys, that's all the games we have for today. No NBA today, but we will have Game 7 there of that Nuggets series covered there tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you're clicking that link to get in the description to get over to stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list, guys. It's free information straight to your inbox, and it's been pretty good information if I do say so myself. Thanks once again for watching. We'll be here, same time, same place tomorrow for more sports betting action.